You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Yeah.
Just remember that, Lloyd.
Okay.
For all of time.
Yeah.
You got a friend in me.
The dude who sings that song, Randy Newman, he sings new songs in this film.
He is
aged.
Yeah.
You can hear it, man.
He's done new ones in each film, and you can tell the difference, especially between 2 and 3 as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, and he still sings exactly what's happening on the screen.
Basically.
Yeah.
Hey, he's good at that, but he does some cracking songs. Yeah. I rewatched the Ridge Tridge recently.
Yeah. Why do you insist on calling it the Ridge Tridge?
It's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna catch on. That's gonna be the thing that people use to describe trilogies.
If you say so, right?
This is my heavy prediction. But yeah, no, I saw Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 recently before this, and yeah, no, like his music is very thematic for that. It's very on the nose, but it works. And I remember, and I liked the first film more than I remembered as well.
Yeah,
that's the other big thing I noticed.
Yeah, do you remember Bo Peep being like one of the main protagonists of those films? Because I don't.
I remember she was certainly in it.
Yeah,
but she was a very passive background character. But she meant a lot to Woody, and that's why it was very significant that she comes back in this. But she is more of a known character. We're talking about Toy Story 4 in case you.
She was very significant to Woody's Woody.
Oh Christ! And his mum's toys are also called Woody and Buzz.
Oh no! Didn't need to know that.
It's not my joke, sadly.
Who did you take it from?
The internet.
Do you have any news this week?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm just realising this live on the air.
I'm always waiting for you to produce it, but
yeah, I usually do. Just I forgot one other time and now as well.
Yeah. We've only released 5 episodes or 6 episodes so far. Oh no!
This will be 7th.
Yeah. I'm very confused. This we record these films like they make Star Wars films. They're all out of order.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're constantly making callbacks to podcasts that haven't been published yet.
Exactly, yeah. Right, what's news here? Okay, this is not very exciting, all of this, so I'm just going to skip over most of it.
Yeah.
This will probably be short for news. There's a Minecraft movie coming.
Cool.
It's going to be written by the people who wrote Frozen 2.
I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet.
Nobody has. It hasn't come out.
Yeah, it could mean anything.
Yeah, this is a slow week for news. This one, but
did you ever play Minecraft?
Not really. It was never just that sort of aesthetic didn't really appeal to me. Like the texture and the cubes and that. But it's very popular.
Apparently so.
Indeed, yeah. Apparently more so than Fortnite currently.
I haven't played Fortnite either.
Me neither, but
if they made a Team Fortress 2 movie, then we'd be talking.
Oh, yeah. I would love that. I would see that.
Yeah. What was your pick in Team Fortress 2? What was your main?
I didn't play it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just because my computer, I had a really shitty laptop that didn't really support it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing. I really enjoyed the pyro and the medic. I had a friend who was a really big fan of the sniper.
I was a really big fan of the sniper.
Yeah.
Sniper and scout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those two. Yeah. The spy as well. He really liked the spy.
I don't think I ever actually played as the spy.
Ever?
No. I think I played as the heavy once. But,
oh yeah. I forget. There's always a couple of characters in that roster that I forget about.
And there's the soldier. Who was it? Bazooka. I think.
Yeah. He's just like your typical guy, and then you have Demolition Man.
Did you ever watch the Team Fortress 2 shorts?
Yeah, I love those.
They were hilarious.
Those were the best. That's what got me into it. I would much rather watch an animated film or show
about Team Fortress 2.
Oh, those characters, yeah, they're funny. Yeah.
What else is in the news?
Not a lot. Suicide Squad 2 by James Gunn will start filming in September.
Wait, is he directing it? I thought he was just producing it.
He was writing it, but he is directing it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's my main reason for being interested in that. Yeah, because he was he was brought on to do that basically as soon as he was fired from Guardians 3. And they were like, "Oh, you're gonna write this?" And he said, "Okay, I'll do that." And then shortly afterwards, everyone was like, "Oh, it would be great if you directed." And so he was like, "Yeah, I'll direct it." And now he's directing both.
You would have thought they would have put him on like a more crucial project though. Like
You'd
Suicide Squad has already died a death. Like
Yeah, like it had a lot of hype because it was kind of weird and wacky and looked different, and then it was the most generic thing ever.
he should have done the Teen Titans movie.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have done a lot better.
I would love to see a Teen Titans movie directed by him.
Who would he have in the squad though? Would he just have like the animated cartoon squad or?
In the Suicide Squad?
No, in the Teen Titans movie.
Oh.
I'm not interested in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Oh, sure, no, okay, I was going to say, I would hope the animated, because like, when I think Teen Titans, I only ever think Robin, Raven, Starfire, Beast Boy, and Cyborg. Like, those 5 are the Teen Titans to me.
No Aqualad.
You can come along for a bit. You can be in the sequel.
What about the Speedy guy?
Or Kid Flash. What's his name?
Kid Flash.
Yeah. They can be in like the sequel or whatever.
It's not the best name though, is it? Kid Flash.
Kid Flash, no, it's not. Neither is Aqualad, really.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Yeah.
I said it once, I'll say it many times. Turn your phone off.
I do need to take this one.
That's fair. When it was Tinder.
No, it was my mum.
Oh, okay. It's a bit weird.
I do have unread Tinder messages, but I'll read them afterwards.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to take a minute for that?
No, it's fine. Just keep talking.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm still here.
Yeah. I would love to see a Teen Titans movie directed by James Gunn. Hopefully, if this turns out really well, then they'll give him that.
Maybe Teen Titans versus Suicide Squad. That would have been good.
Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Suicide Squad would just be killed instantly because they have Raven.
Well, who would you have as Robin though? It's kind of somewhat ruined by Batman vs Superman.
They're kind of doing away with the whole interlinked canon thing, though.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
So like,
Henry Cavill shows up in Shazam, doesn't he?
Does he?
I'm sure he shows up in like a post-credit scene.
Does he?
I think so.
I've not seen Shazam, so.
I've heard he does.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, I had no idea. Fair enough.
I don't think people would make that up.
No. I mean, like, I remember there was a lot of rumours before Shazam came up, people being like, oh yeah, it would be cool, I think Superman's going to cameo in this, or that would be just a cool idea. But it was never really set in stone, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool, if that's true.
Any more news, Greg?
God. Well, so it's been a busy week, so I haven't had time to look through yet. That's good.
What?
So Disney's remaking The Lion King.
Yeah.
That's coming out in a couple of weeks, I think, actually.
Oh no.
Enjoy. But yeah, no, there was a big thing going around about how they were going to include all the original songs from the animated movie, except Be Prepared, which is the best one.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't going to do that.
Wow.
But apparently the soundtrack does include Be Prepared.
Will it just be Scar's theme now?
I guess so. I don't know if it's going to be in the movie or just on the soundtrack, but Scar in that film is being voiced by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is one of my favourite actors, and he has an amazing voice, so it would be great if that is featured in there.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make him into a Killmonger type figure, no?
Yeah.
Because like, in the trailer he seems all about like hyena rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of different though, because he's not a hyena. But...
Well, no. He just likes hyenas, I suppose.
I guess so, yeah. Interesting. But I am interested to see that movie still. Like, just to see what they do with it and how they approach it. Because the trailers are pretty great. Like, I think they've really nailed the trailers, and it visually looks amazing. Like, looks like the actual African plains.
Yeah. Like, have you been?
Oh, many a time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you know in like the original film when what's the name of the female lion that Simba hooks up with?
Nala.
Yeah, when she and Simba like reunite like later in the film, and they have that song, and she gives him that like weird sexy look.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna like replicate that in live action?
I don't know how they could. Like, those lines are meant to be like cartoon and stylized, so they can pull off those facial expressions. It'd be weird to see exactly that on a real lion.
I hope they try.
Did you see the Andy Serkis Jungle Book film that was on Netflix?
I don't think I have, no.
No, but that's basically like, you know, having CGI real looking animals, but then having like human emotional expressions on their faces.
Oh, okay.
And it's really weird. Like, it was very jarring for me, and that kind of ruined the film.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Is Andy Serkis directing stuff now?
Yeah, he's directed that, and he did a biopic before then as well.
I know he did a bit on The Hobbit as well.
I think he was second unit.
He was the B-team director.
Yeah. Which is really cool. No, good for him.
Yeah. He's been there for a long time. I suppose he knows what he's doing now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though The Hobbit kind of sucked. But
yeah. I didn't hate those movies. Excuse me. I went into those movies expecting not great things based on what I'd heard, but yeah, I didn't think they were that bad. But maybe now that I've seen them.
Well, you haven't watched the complete Lord of the Rings trilogy yet, have you?
I've not seen Return of the King.
You're only 2/3 in.
No, I saw all the Hobbit trilogy before Lord of the Rings.
Well, you know they're all on Netflix.
Are they? But it's not the extended editions, I imagine.
No, but they're still like 3-hour-long movies, Greg.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing, I'm told.
They're the theatrical editions.
I've been told I will be drawn and quartered if I see the theatrical editions.
Why? Who's going to do that?
Oh, many people. You see, my housemates, Keris, if you're listening to this.
Just watch the theatrical version, Greg.
I'd rather. I had the chance on Christmas Day, like 7 years ago, when they were on. But my friend was like, no, you're watching the extended editions.
Why? I don't understand.
Apparently it's the true vision. I know that Christopher Lee isn't in the theatrical cut of Return of the King at all.
No, but his scene's
is
on
weird.
YouTube. Just watch the scene on YouTube, it's fine.
Yeah, but that's not how a movie should flow. It shouldn't be like, oh, by the way, do you want this character being wrapped up? Go to YouTube.
Admittedly, it's a weird scene with him in.
Yeah. I can see why they cut it, except it's necessary to the completion of everyone's arcs, I guess.
They could have just had him trapped in the tower. Which I think they did in the theatrical now.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to something
An 80-year-old
more
man being impaled was not the best way to maybe send him off.
It was about as metal as Christopher Lee himself was.
Yeah. Was he in a metal band?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was a massive metal punk.
Yeah, he did a lot of things, didn't he?
Yeah. No, he was a legend, that dude. Yeah.
And he met J.R.R. Tolkien in real life.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the only person working on that film that had actually met him in real life.
Oh, well, I guess he was old enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fair play to him. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think according to him, he fanboyed.
I don't blame him.
I don't think he used that exact terminology, but...
Sure, but... Yeah, however a 70-year-old man at the time would, I guess.
Well, he would have been younger. He would have been like 40, 30.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
What else is in the news, Greg?
What else is in the news? So we talked about Dark Phoenix last week.
We did.
If you haven't seen it, good. And can you just mute that?
I have muted it.
Why is it vibrating?
Because my fucking passport has apparently arrived somewhere.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it in the attic? Has it arrived in the attic?
No. They've said they're going to send it out to me now.
Okay.
Good news, everyone.
Okay, so if you're looking for identity theft, come to Lloyd's house.
Yeah. If you know where I live.
But we talked about Dark Phoenix last week.
Yeah.
And it's been out for I think 2 weeks now. 2 and a bit weeks.
It'll be 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I think we watched it 2 weeks, and then maybe 2 other people in the cinema, maybe 5.
it was, yeah. And like when we went, it had been out for just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And when it first came out, there were like 5 or 6 screenings a day. When we went, there were only 2.
Yeah. Well, I went to watch Toy Story today.
Yeah.
And granted, it wasn't at like London, no, it was at Pontio.
Oh yeah.
Which is a much smaller screen for everyone who doesn't know. And I was the only one there.
Really?
It was awkward as fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to make of that.
I went a few nights ago. It's
Well, I mean, I went at 11 on a school day.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I went Monday evening.
Yeah.
And there were no kids there. It was all adults. But it was,
really?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
It was pretty packed though. I mean, like Toy Story is like that major influence in a lot of people our age and older in their childhoods.
No, it was just me and the dude who's behind the bar there.
Oh yeah.
I went to get a coffee.
Yeah.
And like the look on his face just said, I was expecting a couple of hours off to just stand here and look at my phone, and you have ruined it. And I feel like he may have spat in my drink, but I can't confirm.
Oh, it was your fault for going at that time.
I know, yeah. Well, you're the one who told me the time it was on, so.
Well, there we go.
It's your fault.
I take responsibility, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dark Phoenix. So it's been out for 3 weeks now. It's already being pulled from about half of the theatres it was released in.
That's not a shock. It's really not a shock.
It's not a shock. Like, given the business it's been doing, it's not a shock. But it is kind of shocking that it's not an MCU film, but it is a major like superhero Marvel branded blockbuster.
I guess.
And the fact that it's bombing as hard as it is, like it dropped in its second weekend, it dropped 73%.
Yeah.
And its third, it dropped 67% after a very underwhelming opening.
Yeah, it's the longest running franchise series at the minute, isn't it? That was currently ongoing.
Yeah, like it started in 2000 and it's concluding. New Mutants is coming next year, but it's technically concluding here, and that's 19 years for a superhero franchise, which is pretty impressive.
And nobody cares.
Exactly, nobody cares, which is Yeah, how do you bugger it up that much?
Well, you make the entire franchise about one character and then kill that character off 2 movies ago.
Yeah.
And then make a film without him in it all.
Yeah.
With characters no one really cares about.
They really should have developed these characters more.
Yeah.
Because like I like the idea of these characters and the actors playing them.
Well, the problem is they all had more interesting stories like outside of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't think we touched on this last week, but apparently before like Dark Phoenix went into production, there was another script doing the rounds, and it was a Beast solo film.
Really?
And apparently it was great. And like one of the producers who'd been involved in a lot of the X-Men films, and he's one who admits which are the good ones and the bad ones. He said it's one of the best scripts he'd seen. And it's a Beast film. It's probably unnecessary, but if it's a great film, then
What would it be about?
apparently
Just be Logan with werewolves.
well, apparently like he teams up with Wolverine at the end.
Of course he does.
Of course he does, yeah.
Of course Wolverine.
And he defends like a Inuit tribe or something
Okay.
from an evil mutant, I think.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I'd be cool. I'd be far more interested in seeing that than something like Dark Phoenix. So.
They should have made like a small budget comedy with like Nightcrawler, and he works as like an office secretary.
Hey Nightcrawler, can you grab this thing from the other side of the office? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said this on the way out of Dark Phoenix, an X-Men TV series where it's just them hanging out, being themselves. That would be far more interesting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
where Magneto doesn't murder millions of people, and everyone's just like, oh, hey Magneto,
Yeah.
how you doing, old friend?
Basically, I rewatched that scene today.
Which
the,
one?
the end of Apocalypse.
Oh,
When it's just like, you take care, old friend.
Yes.
Goodbye.
You hang in there, bro.
It's like, goodbye, old friend. Goodbye, Professor. It's so stupid.
Oh.
What was it? There's another thing that's happening.
Yeah.
One of my favourite directors working right now is Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
He's got a Flash Gordon animated film in the works,
Okay.
which
That's interesting.
I would be very interested in seeing that.
Yeah. Would it just look like 4 but animated?
Maybe.
No, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, because like he leaned very heavily into Flash Gordon when doing Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And he said something like, if Queen was still alive, if Freddie Mercury was still alive,
Queen was
all of Queen.
What a revealing statement.
if Freddie Mercury was still alive, he would want Queen to do the soundtrack for Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Which I think says a lot about the influence Flash Gordon had on that.
I mean, why don't just still use the old Flash Gordon theme?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a release date attached. I don't know if he's directing it or if he's just developing it or whatever. But I think it's happening with Disney.
Okay.
And let's have a look through here. Yeah, no, saying nothing about directors except it would be cool if Waititi directed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no release date attached. But it would be pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, it's just been announced. Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's getting more high profile work.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a funny thing.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man Far From Home is just around the corner.
Sure.
And there were a couple of banners. A picture was taken of a couple of banners side by side of, I think, the same poster, which is Spider-Man in the middle, Mysterio on his left, Nick Fury on his right.
Yeah.
And there's another one that was that but flipped. And so you had 2 pictures of Nick Fury side by side, but with the eye patch on the wrong eye.
Okay.
Alright, this made the rounds as big major news somehow.
Right.
But yeah, it's amusing. And
I mean,
Sam
is
Jackson.
that actually news?
Apparently, Screen Rant reported on it, Empire reported on it. It's everywhere
Wow.
for some reason.
Marvel aren't accurate with their posters. What are we going to do?
I know, right? Yeah, Hollywood is screwed.
Mm.
Avengers Endgame is being re-released. We talked about that last time.
Yeah, I think, what did we call it last time?
I can't remember.
DLC?
Oh yeah, the first movie with DLC, which is not far off. I think it was revealed what the additions are.
What are
I
they?
think it's going to be a new post-credit scene, a preview for Far From Home, a Stan Lee tribute, and a foreword from Joe and Anthony Russo.
Wait, hang on.
So the actual movie itself won't be impacted in any way.
There was already a re-release.
Mm-hmm.
It was the anti-Brie Larson version.
Oh
They
yeah,
just cut her out.
yeah. That's the one that we needed to see in cinemas.
Yeah. That's the one people are going to pay to see.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fuck me.
Okay.
Anyway, but Endgame only needs 38 million to be Avatar.
Only 38 million.
I know it's crazy.
Wow.
That's ludicrous, but they're both in the $2.7 billion
Just so Disney
range.
can have a fucking record.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
totally cynical, but that being said, if it was any movie company and you had a movie that made that much money, you would want that record, wouldn't you? You would want just that little extra push because it's such a close margin.
I'd be happy with 2 billion, to be honest with you.
Oh, sure, anyone would.
I'd probably, like maybe we'll rest here.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's the thing, like, Force Awakens and Infinity War made, like, just $2.1 billion.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that's fine. But the fact that this one is so close, I can understand why they would want that extra push.
I still think it's a little douchey, but...
Oh, totally, yeah.
I mean, I think... Hasn't it dominated the box office enough? Maybe give some other films a chance.
I think it's totally, like, taking the wind out of the rest of the summer season.
Yeah, because everything else has been...
What's that?
Oh, it's just virus and threat protection.
Yeah.
My computer's fucked.
Nice one.
Hasn't every other film really failed?
Yeah,
or at least disappointed.
Men in Black underperformed, Godzilla underperformed, Dark Phoenix bombed. I think
to be fair, that's not Endgame's fault.
No, but like those all got bad reviews as well.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu did alright. John Wick did pretty good.
John Wick's completely different from every other film you've just listed, though.
Oh yeah, totally. Like those are all like major player blockbuster CGI franchise films, and John Wick is just a straight up action film for like older audiences as well.
Yeah. Hasn't Disney just made enough money? Maybe this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's enough money?
They've got Star Wars coming out.
They do. That's gonna be a mega hit. They've got Toy Story 4. They've got Frozen 2. They've got Lion King. They're all gonna earn at least $1 billion.
Far From Home.
That's Sony technically, but they do get something from it. Yeah. It's joint, but it is technically branded as Sony. But they will get something out of that, and that will probably get $1 billion as well. And they had Captain Marvel, which also hit $1 billion.
Oh god, just won't end.
Yeah, it's literally this is a year for Disney and no one else.
I'm thinking of boycotting Disney soon.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know. Because we do a podcast now.
We're out there now.
Yeah.
We have power over everything.
I think I'm not going to subscribe to their service.
Yeah.
And that'll be my little rebellion.
Look, I like Disney a lot. Like I love Marvel. I love Star Wars. I love Pixar. I love their animation studio.
Yeah.
But just stop. You just need to take a rest, please.
Disney.
Like I don't want Disney to be the entire marketplace for movies.
I mean, it's going that way.
Yeah, they got Fox. Who knows who's next?
Every other studio is just like a middling studio now.
Yeah, Lionsgate is on the way out, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Paramount's not been doing spectacularly outside of Mission Impossible lately.
Isn't that a fucking sad state of affairs?
Yeah.
The only films you've got going for you, like financially, are films like headed by a 58-year-old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks a lot younger.
That's because they CGI de-age him.
I'm pretty sure he just looks like that, Tom Cruise.
Have you ever seen like a picture of him up close with that makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't look... Yeah, he looks like going for his age.
He probably dyes his hair as well.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But he does hold it up very well. I don't think every appearance lately has been CGI.
Maybe.
Last bit of news before we go on. Danny Boyle is supposedly working on a third 28 Days film.
Okay.
Have you seen 28 Days Later?
I've seen that and the sequel.
28 Weeks Later.
28 Weeks Later.
I've not seen that one.
No.
I've seen the first one and it's quite good.
Was this going to be 28 months later or 28 years later?
28 minutes.
28 decades later.
28 millennia later. Presumably it's going to be months. And don't know why, but it's happening, supposedly.
Okay.
And it'll be cool for Danny Boyle to have a little trilogy there, even though he didn't direct the second
I think
film.
he just produced the second film.
Yeah, so he probably won't do this one either, but he'll be involved in some capacity.
You can kind of tell because they had I think they had one song that's 5 minutes long.
Oh yeah?
And it's a really good theme, but they just keep using it over and over again in the film.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, in the second film?
Yeah. I don't know why he's doing it.
No.
Why is he going back to like The Well? Because he did Trainspotting 2, which didn't really need to come out.
No.
I
haven't seen Trainspotting 2. I haven't seen Trainspotting.
I don't think it made a lot of money, and I don't think it was very critical. Well, I think it was critically acclaimed, but I don't think it was like Oscar status.
No, like people came out and were like, yeah, this is a solid like continuation, but it wasn't like it didn't set the business on fire.
Yeah, and now he's gonna do 28 Days Later. Like
I think because he was attached to do Bond 25 for the longest time.
Oh.
And he lately said how, working on that and all the creative input from the studios and the higher ups and producers. Really killed my interest in doing franchise work.
He got Del Toro'd.
Well,
he's doing a franchise film though. I mean, if it's a fucking trilogy, isn't it?
Like
exactly. A franchise now.
That's what I'm wondering. Like the fact maybe I can't have like a big name franchise, so I'll just return to something I've already worked on that has potential.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's one of the more understated, better directors working.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
I think that's a really boring choice.
I think he could do a lot more. Apparently his new film Yesterday, which is about a guy who's the only person in the world who remembers the Beatles.
Yeah.
Apparently that's quite good.
Okay.
But
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, Edgar Wright, I think, followed a similar path. Or
he was doing Ant-Man.
He was doing Ant-Man, but then he did Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And I don't really rate Baby Driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, like a lot of people really like that film. I've not seen it.
It's good. It's fine. It's not the Cornetto trilogy.
For sure, yeah.
It doesn't even touch that.
I'm not as interested in seeing it as I was any of his other films at the time.
Yeah.
I think my favourite of his is still Scott Pilgrim. Though.
I love that film.
It's so good, isn't it?
I think that is peak Edgar Wright. Yeah.
Like I don't know how anyone can like make that sort of film and do better than what he did.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're done with the news now.
Yeah.
So Toy Story 4 came out.
We watched it.
We watched it. This time, I think it's the first film we talked about that we just watched separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we probably had much different theatre experiences.
Totally.
Because
yeah.
I was completely alone.
You were the only person.
Yeah.
It wasn't packed, but we were about half full. The interesting thing for me was it was an evening screening, to be fair, but even so, no kids. It was all like people, at least my age, as the youngest, so early 20s, or people in their 50s or whatever.
It was a school night. You went to watch it, wasn't it? So.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was surprised that many. I'm surprised and I'm not surprised that there were no kids and that many adults turned out to see it. But at the same time, it is a very nostalgically attached series to a lot of people. But what did you think of it?
Pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty good.
I thought you were going to say just okay, but
no, it was pretty good. I only watched it like a couple hours ago, so I haven't completely digested it.
Sure, yeah, I saw it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And what was it? I think in my written review, I said something like, being more necessary than you expected. Sounds a bit damning, but that is what I mean. But when I say that, it's with true sincerity. I thought this was a great addition.
I'm actually really looking forward to a sequel to this film.
Yeah.
Like, who do they follow now? Do they follow Buzz?
Yeah.
Or do they follow Woody?
Pause it a second.
Yeah, sure. Why, what's up? So we're going to jump straight into spoilers, as Greg has just pointed out.
We'll cut that. We'll cut that last bit.
Sure.
We'll cut that last bit out. But yeah, Lloyd just spoiled the ending of the film.
Yeah.
But this film, it feels like it could be a very conclusive ending. But at the same time, if they wanted to make a sequel, I would be interested to see what direction they take it. But I was very fond of it. I probably prefer 2 and 3, but I still really like this.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is better than 2.
2 is my favourite.
Yeah.
I know a few people who don't rate 2 as highly, but it's by far my favourite of the 4.
I mean, I think they're all pretty great.
Oh, for sure. Like this is easily the best tetralogy, quadrilogy, whatever you call it, of all time.
I mean, what do we have to compare it to?
Not many.
Alien. The recent X-Men. Recent X-Men films.
Oh man. Oh yeah. First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
They got nothing on these.
This is the Dark Phoenix of the Toy Story saga.
Please don't say that. If I was ranking them, it probably would go 2 at the top, then 3, then 4, then 1. But I think they are all brilliant. Like I said earlier, I liked 1 a lot more on a rewatch.
Yeah. A lot of jump scares in it. I noticed, which was a bit strange.
It's very horror influenced.
Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah. Anyway, we're going into spoilers for Toy Story 4. So, what were you going to say?
Where do we go next?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that the next film will involve Woody murdering all of mankind.
I think it makes the most logical sense.
That's the only place it can go, really, can't it?
For sure, yeah.
His journey has been so existential.
It really has.
I feel like he almost has to go like full Unicron.
Just grow to the size of a planet.
Devour the planet.
Yeah. Did you stay for the scenes during the credits? Or did you just leave straight
No,
away?
no, I left straight away.
Yeah.
Why? What did I miss?
It was just some little gags that Woody and Bo and Ducky and Bunny and all that got up to.
Oh, okay.
Which were quite funny.
Yeah. I didn't expect to really care about Bo in this film, but I did.
No, I thought she was great in this. I thought, I wondered if she was going to be a bit forced in.
Yeah.
But I thought she was a great presence in this film.
All of the other secondary characters were totally forced in though.
I feel like you probably couldn't lose a lot if you took them out, but at the same time, I enjoyed that they were there. I thought Key and Peele play a duck and a bunny, and I think they were very funny in this.
Well, Jessie isn't an entity, really. I think she does one thing.
Yeah, I mean, like other than it's Woody, sort of Buzz, and all the other toys that we've known like throughout the series don't really have a lot to do.
Yeah.
So Jessie gets a bit more than the others, but not a whole lot, and the others are just kind of useless.
Yeah, and that's.
Which is a shame because like
a little sad. Well, I think some of the voice actors for some of them are dead now, aren't they, or something?
Yeah, Don Rickles, who voices Potato Head, he died a couple of years ago. But like it's interesting. 'Cause I find it a little morbidly amusing that Disney was like, you know what, we searched all of his like re-recorded files, anything that he started while recording lines as Mr. Potato Head in previous films, other forms of media, and we think we've just come together to just have enough to support his character in this film, and he has 2 lines.
Wouldn't have been so funny if they were just like broken up lines as well, like obviously broken up lines.
Yeah, exactly. Woody, can you?
Yeah. Woody, hey Mr. Potato Head.
Oh man, this got morbid.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Don Rickles, you will be missed. But he only had 2 lines, and they weren't really consequential to the story. It was just like general expressions of like, "Oh, get off me," or whatever.
Well, Woody aids in the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Bo Peep gets kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped. She gets sold. Sorry,
because I forgot this until the film started. She isn't Andy's toy. Andy has a sister called Molly.
Yeah.
And she was hers, and she was selling a bunch of her toys, and Bo Peep was one of them.
Yeah, and Woody has a choice at the beginning of the film to either go with Bo or go with Andy.
Yeah, she's like, you know, sometimes a toy may get put in the wrong box to like get him, because they're very romantically involved.
Apparently.
Yeah, well that was in the previous films.
Yeah. But Woody chooses to stay with his other boyfriend. Over Bo.
Yeah, and Bo kind of understands, but you can tell she's a bit
disappointed,
pent up about it later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought they were great. A great duo together in this.
Yeah, and then we find him years later with Bonnie.
Yeah. So it bypasses the whole end of Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
And just jumps straight from, because that thing we just talked about, that takes place between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then we cut to after the 3. And Bonnie has all the toys now.
Yeah, but she doesn't care about Woody.
Yeah, she likes all of them and plays with all the toys, but
yeah, Woody gets rejected by his god.
Yeah, and, she takes his badge and puts it on Jessie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
just the look on his face as well.
Yeah, and I feel for him, and if looking back on it, it's easy to see like that's the direction they were building up to, was him leaving behind everybody.
Yeah.
But when I was just watching it and just kind of in it, I was like, I feel bad for him. Like, how are they going to resolve this? And typical Pixar, they don't quite resolve it in the way you think.
Well, how do you think it's going to get resolved?
Well, I had no idea. I was interested to see what direction, but I didn't really have an idea. I assumed by the end that he would be more, Bonnie would like have a renewed sense of like, oh yeah, I like this guy. He was like Andy's favourite toy, so I want to respect that a bit more.
Well, Woody helps Bonnie create life in
Yeah,
Forky.
Bonnie plays God in this.
Yeah, Forky is a fork.
A spork.
Yeah. Sorry. Turned into a toy.
Like he has like pipe cleaners for arms, a lollipop stick for feet, and he's brought to life by when she. Is it established like when you write your name on a toy's feet, they gain life?
I think it's if you believe that they're a toy, they gain sentience.
Right.
Yeah.
And Forky wasn't in this movie as much as I thought he would be from the marketing.
Yeah.
But he has a very like existential crisis as his main arc.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's trash and he's born to that particular life, and Woody basically argues that he has a better life.
Yeah. He has a higher purpose of giving Bonnie happiness.
Yeah. And Woody kind of does it from like a place of selfishness at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the film, he makes the decision to actually help other toys, not for himself but for them.
Yeah. Because now that he's gone from Andy, and even though Bonnie doesn't care about him, he's still I think he says all he has left is to make sure that his kid is happy. Yeah. And if that's what Forky does for her, then he will try his damn hardest to get Forky back.
Yeah.
And even if that means hurting people along the way.
Yeah. Well, Buzz has a similar crisis.
Yeah.
Or he starts listening to like, because Woody tells Buzz about the conscious.
Is like
the concept of conscious, and Buzz doesn't seem to understand.
I feel like they've dumbed him down a little in this.
Yeah, so he starts pressing his buttons, and his voice box tells him what to do.
Yeah, so like it was like Buzz Lightyear to the rescue, and she's like, oh, I better go out there and
Yeah.
Whatever. Which I thought that was a fun B plot, but at the same time it seemed like it made him a bit dumber for that to work.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I quite enjoyed Buzz in this, but.
Oh no, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I really think Tim Allen and Tom Hanks are a great duo.
Yeah, and then we see the rabbit and the duck.
Oh yeah, probably the most removable part of this film.
Possibly, but I think somebody came up with the scene where they attack the old woman.
Which I thought I was gonna die when I first saw that.
And,
That was...
Well, they did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time was in the trailer, and I thought that was gonna be it, and then they did it a second time. I was like, oh okay, and then they did like
dropped a ball on the floor. And she was distracted by it, and then they attacked her.
And then they did it the third time, which was just like this really long extended.
It's built up over 2 minutes of this old woman like packing up the store, driving home, like having wine and a bath, and then eventually going to sleep, and they just arrive.
I think that was the biggest laugh in the cinema when it happened. That just the expression on their face.
Yeah. Well, the toys in this are quite frightening because they just fuck with everyone.
We mentioned like a lot of this film was set in an antiques store.
Yeah.
And you have these puppets, these marionette puppets for villains.
Oh yeah.
And the way they move and turn their heads and that.
I felt quite sorry for them.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have any ambitions. They're just kind of there.
I mean, like the whole personality comes from people controlling them, so they're just like this limp, lifeless.
I didn't think about that, Greg. That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the main villain in this is Gabby.
Gabby, voiced by Christina Hendricks, who I love, and I'm glad she's in a Pixar film.
And you feel really bad for her.
You do.
Actually, when you first meet her, you think she's creepy as fuck.
Oh yeah,
she is.
Yeah, but like I think they really execute her redemption arc in a very genuine and fulfilling way.
Yeah, and then because she wants to be owned by a little girl named Harmony.
Yeah, like one specific little girl.
Yeah, and she needs a voice box to do it. She needs Woody's voice box specifically to do it.
She's from the 50s, I think.
Yeah, they were both made at around the same time, apparently.
Yeah, and her voice box was bad out the box, and
she's like the extreme version of Woody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Woody gives up his voice box in the end. He's like, I can't make Bonnie happy, but if I give up my voice box to Gabby, maybe she can make her child happy.
Yeah, maybe Sporky can.
Sporky.
Yeah, maybe the fork can make Bonnie happy.
Yeah, Sporky the fork. Yeah.
What's gonna happen like when Bonnie is older, like a teenager?
I guess.
And she just rips Sporky apart.
Throw him away. Yeah.
What happens to him then?
He's like, maybe I am trash after all.
Does each of the parts become sentient?
I mean, are you going on the basis that she will rip him apart?
Well, I mean, she could just like throw him somewhere or leave him somewhere.
Yeah. I think that's more easier to just like forget about some art project you did as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you think too hard about this whole universe, it's very depressing.
Yeah, because a lot of the toys are like Bo Peep and Woody.
Yeah.
Have like when they think of their old owners, kind of have like this X kind of reaction to them.
Yeah.
Like as though they were romantically linked to them at some point, which is a bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they're in a relationship at the end.
I got that impression. Like I always got the impression they had a thing together that was taken away when Bo Peep left, and then like when Woody chooses to say goodbye to his friends at the end and spends the rest of his time with Bo Peep. That is him. Yeah, that is him. Like that's a metaphor for us. You know,
moving on. Yeah.
We have to say goodbye to our larger group of friends to find the one we love.
It's a bit. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
These films grew up with us. You see.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think someone had a lot of issues to work out working on this film, and I hope they worked them out by the end.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, again, all of the romantic subtext in the film.
Oh yeah, you think they were going through something?
Yeah. Well, the reunion between Bo Peep and Woody, I think, is unintentionally hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Because they're in because there's a bunch of little kids around them, and they're in kind of their toy phases.
Yeah.
And like the kid lifts them both up, and they both kind of stare at each other, but it's in their poses.
Yeah, it's like they have to pretend to be toys, but that's the first time they're seeing each other.
Yeah.
Again, I thought there was a sweetness to that.
I thought it was like really funny for some reason.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was probably the only time I like laughed out loud.
Really?
That's not to say the film wasn't funny. But
Sure.
I don't really laugh out loud at films.
No, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like, I'm pretty sure you've watched a film with me before.
Never.
Oh, we watched Dark Phoenix.
We've watched many films together.
The only times I usually laugh is when there's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Get the fuck away from her.
Or I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Cheers, Cyclops.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I going back to Gabby in this, I love the scene where she has her voice box put back in and she like pulls her string and is like, and Harmony just like ponders her and just like is like looks very curious and happy, and then her grandmother's like, oh, that's a nice doll, do you want it? And she just like,
Nah.
yeah, and just yeets her.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see Gabby is really broke up about that, and it's really sad.
Yeah, and so it's okay though. Woody hooks her up with someone else.
Yeah, like he offers to take her back to Bonnie, and that's the plan. But then she sees another lost little girl.
Yeah.
And she sees herself in her, I assume.
Well, this is the first villain to actually achieve any kind of, happy ending or redemption.
In a Toy Story film, certainly, but
Yeah,
maybe in a Pixar film.
I think Sid becomes a bin man.
Yeah, well, we don't really revisit him. It's just like a cameo.
Yeah. The fucking dude with the axe. What's his name? Stinky Pete.
Oh yeah, Prospector. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what happens to him? He gets
put. They put him in a little girl's backpack.
Yeah.
With a Barbie.
Maybe he's out there still having a nice time.
Maybe, yeah.
Then you had Lotso hugging Bear.
He gets attached to a truck.
Yeah, he has the worst ending. Like, that poor fucker.
Yeah, but they all have kind of bad ends, but she like comes full circle into a fully good character.
Yeah.
Which I really like. I thought we haven't had that in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
So most of the characters were non-entities, unfortunately, to some degree. If you were here to see Rex,
yeah, no.
the big Rex gains his courage story arc, you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, I think because that was so heavily advertised in the film. Yeah,
it's been building up.
But for sure, yeah. Like Rex, Slinky, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, the aliens, all of them, they were barely in it, really.
And Duke Kaboom, the aliens don't show up.
Oh yeah, they're not in it.
I didn't see them once.
No, were they amongst like the toys at some point?
They might have made a cameo in like the wall or something, like the wall Buzz gets strapped to, but
maybe I feel like they were. I could be misremembering, but I think they were like amongst the pile in the RV.
Possibly, but
they didn't speak for sure.
Yeah, which is strange.
Yeah. What were you saying?
No Pizza Planet either. No Pizza
It must
Planet
have
truck.
It must have been in the background, so it's always there.
Possibly.
Yeah. It wasn't noticeable.
Well, do you know how like the Millennium Falcon makes a cameo in the prequels? It's like blink and you'll miss it, like literally 2 frames maybe.
I don't think I do now.
Well, they probably had maybe a cameo like that within. But,
yeah. They've done that before. Like it's not super noticeable in several of the other films.
Yeah. Yeah. So Woody's existential nightmare comes to an end.
He finally decides like it's time for him to choose his own destiny.
Yeah. He decides to convert other people to religion rather than be religious himself.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's his attachment to children is kind of like a religious fervor, and now he's going to spend his time reforming people.
I guess so.
I could be reading a bit too much into that, but
maybe. I think it's more just like freeing the ones that are tied to the wall.
Yeah.
And that.
I do think this series does have to end with him killing God in some capacity.
Final confrontation in heaven.
Yeah.
Reach for the sky.
Oh no! God defeats him, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Dismembers all of his limbs.
Instantly, yeah.
And then Woody's just like, there's a snake in my boot. A snake comes out and actually bites him, and Woody wins.
Man, that's funny.
Yeah, that's my ending.
Poor Woody.
Yeah, at least he saved the world.
Oh, for sure,
he brought
yeah.
freedom to people.
Yeah, now good on him for that, yeah. Duke Kaboom.
Yeah.
What did you think of him?
He's cool. He's fine.
Yeah. When the reviews for this first came out, everyone was saying like, he's like easily the scene stealer. He's the star of the show.
Really?
I didn't get that impression. I thought he was funny at points. I like the kind of forlorn relationship he had with his kid.
The kid broke up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens with a lot of these toys. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all like suffering from like broken relationships.
Basically, yeah. Like, how else can you make a toy sad though?
I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought he was pretty good in this. But
what was the name of his kid? Francois.
Something like that, because he's Canadian. So he had a French Canadian kid. Yeah. I think Key and Peele were better additions in this, like a lot funnier and memorable.
Oh, I just realised. Bo Peep's a shepherd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got her
That's
book thing.
Religious symbolism there.
Oh.
Okay, it's all building up, Greg.
It's all building up to Woody facing God.
Yeah. It has to be.
What do you think? One of the sheep, the 3 sheep conjoined beast thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they fall and one of them loses a leg.
Yeah.
Is that symbolism? would you say?
I don't know. I'd have to reread all the Bible again.
I see. Yeah.
I'm sure somebody loses a limb somewhere.
Must do. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they represent the Trinity. There's three of them.
There is three of them.
Yeah.
Who would be the one to lose a limb though?
Well, Jesus gets crucified, so maybe him.
I guess that would make the most sense. Yeah.
It's kind of thought of as like Jesus and the Holy Spirit are like parts of God, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's three separate entities, but also they are one and the same within God. Yeah.
And maybe the cat represents like the great beast from Revelations.
I forgot about the cat.
There's a cat in this.
There is a cat in this. Like, a couple points, it's a very photorealistic cat.
Yeah, that cat looks fucking creepily real.
Yeah. I think the best that Pixar have ever... Have you seen The Good Dinosaur?
No.
No.
That failed. No,
that was their first bomb, yeah. I think it's pretty underrated. I think it's quite good.
Yeah.
But there's moments of water passing, like of just like panning shots over streams and that, and it looks like an actual shot.
Well, in Incredibles 2, like Mr. Incredible, like wears like a polo shirt.
Yeah.
And you can see the fucking individual stitches in the polo shirt.
That's insanity.
Somebody spent days doing that,
Yeah.
animating it and shit like that. That is genuine insanity.
I think that's nuts, especially because that film was meant to come out this year.
Really?
That was meant, and they had a whole other year of production time for that, and then it was suddenly they lost a year so they could come out, so that it and Toy Story 4 could swap release dates.
Oh, okay. Toy Story 4 just wasn't ready then, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer Toy Story 4 to Incredibles 2, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say Toy Story 4 is just about above Dark Phoenix as well.
Just about, yeah.
It's very hard to beat it, but...
Yeah, I think it's probably my... I've seen 15 films in cinemas this year.
Yeah.
I think it's probably my third favourite.
What's your first?
Behind How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because that trilogy is my favourite trilogy of all time, and I love those films.
Okay.
And then it's probably Endgame, then it's probably Toy Story 4.
Okay. Yeah. Cool film.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. Probably doesn't crack my top... Definitely doesn't crack my top 5 Pixar films. Maybe not my top 10.
Really? I'm going to have to think about it for a little bit
I've
first.
I've got my Letterboxd list here, actually.
I really enjoy Woody's character arc.
In Toy Story 4?
Yeah, like it's just like his complete fucking existential nightmare comes to an end.
I found it very, very moving. Like when he's like finally confronts Bo Peep and admits to him like, this isn't about Vine, this is about me. This is about me not being able to move on.
Yeah.
I found that very sincere and sad.
I can't love you because I'm still in love with my ex-boyfriend.
That was the line, yeah. Oh man.
So yeah, somebody did have some issues to work out, and I'm glad they got it out there.
Totally, yeah. Well, hopefully they did anyway. Hopefully they're over it.
And now these films have truly grown up with us.
Yeah. Okay, looking at this, it probably just misses out on my top 10 because I think I've not seen A Bug's Life, Cars 2, Monsters University, or Cars 3.
Wait, you haven't seen Bug's Life?
Cars 2, Cars 3, and Monsters University.
Oh, Monsters University is sick, man.
Is it?
It's really good. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed Monsters University.
I'll check them all out at some point, but of the ones I have seen, from bottom to top, it will probably go Brave.
Paul Randall.
Randall.
Yeah, Randall.
Yeah, the thing from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he get? Oh yeah, he gets fucked up, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, you feel kind of sorry for him in university as well.
Yeah, because knowing that he's a pretty sweet guy who ends up getting sent to another dimension and beaten up with a shovel.
Well, he ends up getting in with the jocks.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turns him into a douche. And he actually wears glasses.
And that's why he's all...
Because that's why he squints in Monsters Inc. Because he's not wearing his glasses, because he's trying to like be cool for other people.
Such a simple explanation, but I love it.
All he needs to do is just be himself.
Yeah. Anyway, I think if I was ranking all these films that I have seen, it would go from bottom to top. Brave, thing which I don't like.
But Sing.
Huh?
Brave.
What's
after Brave? I know what Brave is.
Oh, it's okay, right. Which I don't like, but then after that's probably Good Dinosaur, which I do like.
Oh, okay.
Then Cars 1, then Toy Story, then Incredibles 2, then Finding Dory, then it's probably Toy Story 4. Then you get into my top 10, which is Ratatouille, Finding Nemo, Coco, Toy Story 3, WALL-E, Incredibles, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Up, and Inside Out.
I think WALL-E is my favourite.
WALL-E is so good.
Inside Out is a close second.
I fucking love Inside Out.
Like, see, I feel like Toy Story 3 is going to be in the top... Toy Story 4 is going to be in the top 5, sorry. But
yeah.
I have to think about it a little bit more.
Sure. Like, a studio with this, like, consistent track record of great and good films.
Yeah.
It's pretty spot on.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, are we done?
I guess so. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not Not really. I think we've covered all that we can. But I think I'm sad that it's not a trilogy anymore. But at the same time, I think having this film has made it gone from being not quite the best trilogy of all time to being the best tetralogy, quadrilogy of all time.
All I have to say is Jehovah watch your back, because Woody is coming for you.
How does that even Jehovah watch it back?
Oh yeah, because Woody's going to kill him.
Is that a pun, or how does that work?
No, like the name of God is Jehovah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see,
So
right, yeah.
Better watch your back, Jehovah.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Alright. Bye, guys.